because as we talk about all the time, we love the movie theater. It's basically like a special place that we can go to escape for a couple hours. And as long as there's no idiots in there destroying that experience, it's a great time. Obviously there's exceptions to that where there's idiots that are on their phones constantly, or there's the crying kid. And, we all have those experiences. You mentioned last episode about times in which you walked out of a theater, and one time it was because of someone who was just not caring at all for the people around them. And you're like, I'm done.
Yeah, I have zero tolerance anymore at theaters.
Yeah.
If I know it's going to be bad before it starts or when it starts, I'm done. I leave. I'm not paying for that.
Yeah.
I won't put myself through that torture. I move on. I hope theaters survive, but most importantly, I just hope we survive.
Yeah. And you know what? I've been saying this on my streams. We're going to be fine. All right. We're going to get through this. There is going to be an end in sight. I really do believe that when we get to summer, that a lot of people, oh boy. You look like you're about to say something. You're like,
I'm sorry. Just continue.
Okay. But anyway, I think that by the time summer comes around, that it will start to lessen, the cases will start to decrease, and that we will eventually get through this. But my concern is that movie theaters, I already know, will never be the same. There's going to be new laws that are going to come out because of this. There's going to be new restrictions because of this. And how that impacts movie theaters, and how just the general crisis itself affects people wanting to go to movie theaters, who we honestly don't know whether, I'm pretty sure they don't ever, before this, had ever washed their seats overnight, for example, right? That might be something that becomes required by law.
Yeah, and it should have been required by law decades ago, because theater seats are disgusting. They are utterly disgusting. And I used to be an usher who cleaned those or didn't clean those, and I know.
Yeah, no, I agree. And between screenings, right, instead of just doing the quick sweep of the theater, having it be sprayed down with some type of, sanitizer of some sorts. But yeah, a lot of questions coming out. I just hope movie theaters survive, because even if it's a small contingent, as long as there's a place where I can go to escape that's not in my home, as long as I don't have if I ever have a legit home theater, at that point, very little reason for me to ever leave. If you have your own theater experience at home with the surround sound and the immersion experience, you've got that awesome projector that you've been playing around with. Has it been great so far?
I got to hang up the screen for it, so and I'm making a movie night video. That's another video.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm glad I have it. If ever it came at the perfect time.
Now is that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as I've always been saying, one of my dreams is at some point in my life to have that type of theater space. It's going to take some years to do, but if that point ever comes and you see this huge movement to VOD, becomes a very easy thing to do, to just not have to leave the house. But I really hope it doesn't happen. But I was actually talking about this on my live stream last night, is that what are your thoughts on, as kind of like a last question, your thoughts about the possibility of us getting, or at least a suggestion of us getting, more drive-in theaters?
Interesting. That's the first time I've heard that theory or thought. Wow, that could make a return, right?
Yeah. Because guess what? The only theaters that are open right now, for the most part, are drive-ins.
Did you hear that somewhere, or was that completely original from your brain?
So I heard someone mention that they were open, and as soon as they mentioned that, I said, that is actually a brilliant idea, because if some of these theaters get converted into drive-ins, you don't have to worry about this. Because guess what? The people that are distracting you because they're talking next to you on their phones, that's pretty much gone. Because you're in your own car. You have, especially if they set it up right, you have the ability to have like 2 stereo sound systems on either window, getting that theater experience sound. And then you have this gigantic screen. Yeah, it'll be a little bit different, but I think that it'll be enough to do away with a lot of the issues that a lot of people have with current movie theaters.
Yeah, I dig that. I kind of want to make a video about that right now. That's interesting. That gets me intrigued.
You're welcome.
This could be the resurgence of the drive-in theater.
And it should be.
It makes sense. It's outside, it's open air, it's yeah, and especially with the only bad thing about drive-in theaters for those years were the crappy little speaker that hooked onto the side of your window. But now with car stereos that hook up with the right channel, the radio station.
Because that's what they're doing. They do it either via radio station or Bluetooth connection now.
Yeah, and you'll have a great sound experience. Dude, I think if this goes on long enough, that could be a viable option.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And it's pretty comfortable. in your car for the most part. So the seats are good. You can get popcorn. Like there can even be a drive-through concession stand. Could you imagine that, right? You go to the theater, you never have to leave your car.
Yeah. And the guy at the drive-in thing has like a biohazard suit on, so there's 0 to no risk. And
yeah,
dude, that got me excited.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad it did.
Yeah.
I'm glad I was reminded of that thought because it came up last night, literally on our stream, and I got excited about it too because I thought I've never been to a drive-in, but I've always wanted to, and this might be the perfect time for those types of places to either open up or theaters to transition or something. I hope it happens.
I kind of want to make a video now.
All right. Well, I hope you do because John, I want more videos from your channel.
Hey, I gave a 3-hour live stream last night. I think that's sufficient.
No, I want you, like everyone in the comments, when's the next flick trip? When's the next flick trip? I want an actual real flick trip, not a mini flick trip.
It's not enough. It's like if I just call it a real, no matter what it is, if you call anything, whatever you want it to be called, that's what it is on YouTube. Right. So like, for example, I'll give an example real quick, not to go off on a tangent, but if you do like an after the theater reaction video, now it's a reaction video. But if you were just to call it a movie review, now it's a movie review.
Yeah.
And no one would think twice.
That's a good point.
Isn't it? I've always thought of that.
Language is always very important because people with whatever they see, that's pretty much what they accept.
No matter what the content is, whatever the title is what it is.
Yeah, exactly right. But and now to give a special shout out to my March Patreon and Subscribe Star members, animation commentator Brian P., Dion, David Brobrizik, Divex, Elizabeth M., Enrique Evangelista, Father Christopher Miller, Hail Father, Frank the Tank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan, Harold Francis, the Honker Chonker Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, Trap Productions, Jason Clark, Jeffrey Toon, JJ Jonathan Jerembeck, Kenneth Camiel, Lady T, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin with the beautiful hair, Orange Hat Reviews, Outpost Dyer, Perpetual Punster, Riff Magos, Riff Racer Request, Rosetta Allen, Sir Lancelato, Steve Glasker, Teresa Martin, Theodore Bendon, The DJD Show, and Tina B for Patreon, and my Subscribe Star peeps, Robert Revo, Larry, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, G2 Cool 99, Dark Star 57, Alex McCarthy, US 888209 Fast, Dean Heiss, Harold Francis, J-Rod the Beer Guru, Nebadan G. Adams, and ZK Man, and Mike Jackson. Thank you all so much for being my Patreon and Subscribe Star members for the month of March. You are all amazing people. Thank you so much for the support, and I hope that you are enjoying your perks. If you do not know the perks that you get, make sure you read again through all the perks that are listed, and also check your messages if you're over on Patreon, because if you are a $5 and up backer on Patreon, you get special access to giveaways over on the Discord. I send out messages with a link to join the Discord server. I will then hook you up over there, and you'll have access to some really cool giveaways. I give away 4Ks, Blu-rays, digital codes, try and give away at least a couple of big movies, 4K Blu-ray titles a month, and try to do at least 2 to 3 giveaways for when it comes to digital download codes. And I might try and do a little bit more this month as well, because I'm always trying to add extra stuff to it. And also, if you are a $10 or up backer, then you have access to a special podcast that I'm starting to do with John the Flick Pick. That's right, John Flickinger of the Flick Pick channel. We're having a lot of fun with the podcast, and so expect that every couple weeks. And of course, also any extra behind the scenes, extra footage, extra interviews, extra solo podcasts as well, you will also have access to. And my special $25 and up backers on Patreon Subscribe Star, you have access to all of those things that I've listed. You also get a t-shirt. That's right, I will send you a t-shirt for your first month. And of course, you can also be featured on the Chosen to Valhalla live stream once a month. You get to be featured on the Odin's movie blog channel. It's always usually on a Sunday around 12 p.m. Eastern time. You get to join some lovely peeps and have some really great discussion with all of the Chosen of Valhalla and me with the live audience. Anyway, you guys are all amazing and beautiful people. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless.